think it kept going off. I think it keeps going off because of the battery. Anyway, I want to just do a little story time right quick. So, just like I was saying, you know, I I always was subconscious of my looks. Right? I grew up in a religious home, and I'm not gonna say it was all about, you know, uh, girls ain't supposed to show themselves and all that stuff. All that wasn't taught in my home. I'll be honest with you, it wasn't taught in my home. But respect was taught. What I saw is what I did. I'm more of a touch and learn person. I'm more of a seeing person. When I see, I believe. This is before I got saved, right? So, but the touchy type of person, that's how I am. You know, I feel a lot. Um, I'm not gonna go into the spiritual realm. You know, even though I take everything spiritual, this is a story time, so I'm gonna stay into the concept of me being unsafe. Now, during the story, hello. Yes, he did. Say it again. Well, if this is the same lady I spoke to before, I keep saying that he be trying to sign in and it push him out. So I don't know what that's about. All right, thank you. Anyway, so so you will hear me speak of being saved. When you hear that word saved, that is the spiritual side of me. Okay? And then I'll indicate when I'm in the world, right? I'm back into the world, whatever. Because I was saved quite a few times. But I don't want to too much go into the saved part of me because the story time is mainly talking about my self-esteem. Let's put it like that. So this video will be story time, entitled Story Time Self-Esteem. My self-esteem, or my outlook on my self-esteem. But anyway, it'll have something to do with self-esteem. So now, I grew up in, well, let me tell you my name. My name is Sharon Wilson. That is my name that I grew up with. Um, um, Sharon Douglas. I don't know whether I should say that's my legal name, because I guess it is, because that's the name that's on my birth certificate. Okay, I go by the name, oh, and let me say, Sharon Jordan is my married name. Okay, I wish I had kept my maiden name, which is Wilson, because that would have helped a whole lot. And prior circumstances where I needed proof of my maiden name. My ID would did it all. But anyway, you get married, you drop your name, you take on your husband's name. Now you're supposed to be one. All right. That much I understood. So that's what I did. So now, I add Sabrina. I go by Sharon Sabrina Joy. Right? A lot of people don't know too much about Sharon. They think it's a name I made up. They think, oh, well, I know you by Sharon. Oh, you mean Sharon. Okay. Just like, how can I say? Just like, well, I can't think of no names at the moment, but just like there are names out there that sound alike but spell different, sound alike but pronounced differently, okay? So, therefore, Sharon, I've learned and seen and experienced and heard, and put it that way, not seen, because they can't see my name. But I've heard my name pronounced different ways by different cultures. So now, because I was very close to a lot of West Indians, a lot of Asians, a lot of Jamaicans, a lot of Guyanans, does that sound right? People from Guyana, and a lot of Trinidadians, right? Each of those cultures pronounce my name differently. And Cubans, I came into act with some Cuban guys, right? Into act. I want to clarify. Did not go out with them, okay? So each culture pronounced my name differently, right? And some of them, when I would tell them my name, they would get so like overjoyed, and they'd be like, "Oh my goodness, you have a beautiful name. Do you have any idea what your name means?" No, I don't. So that's when Sharon came in there, because there was a couple of Jamaican guys that I knew, I interact with. I was in, I don't know whether anybody from New York, or maybe if they got it out of state as well. There's a place in New York that's called Covenant House, and it is a place for teenage mothers, teenagers, you know, people, kids underage that's not 21, or maybe up to 21. So within that place, I would hang out with this girl. I want y'all to understand. Let me put a disclaimer here. I have diagnosed myself with I can't even get it out. I have diagnosed myself with ADHD. So this story time may be ramble. It may sound like I'm rumbling on and talking this and talking that, but I'm going to try to keep everything in the same aspect. That's why I say I'm not going to go into the spiritual. So I'm going to try to keep it in the same aspect, right? So that way it'll keep you not only focused, but help you to understand. You know, it's a story, so it's my story, and I got to tell it how I lived it. So I may have a piece over here, and I may go over here and get the piece over here, and I might go and get a piece over here. But it's all my life. It's all my story. Well, it's all a part of my life, because it would be hours and hours upon hours for me to tell you about my life, because so much has happened in my life up to this present moment. So, with that being said, we'll go forward. So now, the guy, there was a Jamaican guy. I mean, he was straight up Jamaican. He had his dreads, he had his, whatever that is you put on your head to hold your dreads with his colors on. He was Jamaican. And I met him through a young lady that was in the Covenant house. Gotta take my morning pills. I met him through a young lady. Me and her became very close friends momentarily because oh, that man looked like my husband. Lord Jesus. All right. I'm not gonna get emotional right now. So now this girl was from California. She had came to New York to be a model, and I'm not gonna lie, this girl was a model. She without the papers. She had the look. She had the. If y'all remember Bo Derek, is it Bo Derek? The girl that wore the braids. Remember when cornrows first got introduced to the United States or New York? There was a young girl that was a model, and she used to wear the real skinny braids like hanging down, and she'd be walking in the water with her. I think it was Bo Derek, but if it wasn't, she reminded me of that young lady, whoever she was. If y'all know who I'm talking about, that's what she looked like. She had the body like that. She had the the the, the features. She just had it all. She had everything there was to have to be a model. She had. And I don't know, she just took to me, you know. She would come in my room and get me, and she'd be like, okay, what we doing today? She was a lot of fun and everything, you know. And since I'm in that, since I'm talking about that category, I will tell a little bit about that because it is about my life. And I was about, maybe I was about 14, 15, could have been 13. I was young. How I got in there, my grandmother went. Every year she would go down south and she would take me. This particular year, my father said to leave me up here with him and he would take care of me. And my grandmother told him, now Jesse, that was my father's name, Jesse, make sure, because I don't leave Sharon up here. Make sure you take care of my mama, take care. He took care of me, all right. He kicked me out the house. Yeah, I was about 15. I was about 14 or 15. He kicked me out the house. I had to not run the street. We New Yorkers have a way with words. You say you're running the street. No, I wasn't running the street. I was in the street. I had to sleep in the street. And I went to my uncle, all this and whatever. So now it landed me there. The cops took me there. So it was a nice place, right? It was a nice place and everything, right? It was behind the Port Authority. So you know the Port Authority is between 8th Avenue and 9th, or 7th and 8th. It's on either 8th Avenue or 7th Avenue, but it's between 11th and 12th Street, something like that. So it was way back there. It was all the way back there. So that's where I was. So in my time that I was there, I met this girl, and she took to me, and we became friends, and we would walk to Central Park. So walking from 11th to all the way wherever Central Park was a walk. And in the heat and all that, that's why I say these people don't understand. I did heat. He did not keep me from enjoying the weather. I was out there. So I went on. We walked to and I didn't know the girl because I wasn't with her all the time. But most of the time I wasn't a smoker. She was, so that was one of the reasons why I wasn't with her all the time because she knew I wasn't a smoker. So she respected me, and she would, go on out, do her thing with whoever she do it. So now this particular day we walked, which we always walk. Always would go. We always would go to to Central Park because that was the place everybody hung out with. Everybody came out of Covenant House. That's where they hung out. So we went this particular day and she went to the guy, and the guy gave her something, and I was like, "What is that?" Because just like I said, I was raised up in a religious home, so I don't know nothing about these drugs and all this stuff. So out back then, it was something that was out that was called hash. So I don't want to talk too much about it because I don't know how YouTube is, and I don't want my video to get flagged or nothing. I'm introducing drugs on my channel. No. But anyway, I did not interact with any hard drugs or anything. You know. So we did our little thing. And that's I'm saying all that to get to my point in my name. Ooh, I remembered that. I'm doing good. So he would when I can't remember her name, but when she introduced me to him, he came out and said Sharon. He said, "Oh, Sharon." He said, "That's a nice name, Sharon." And that just ding, 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 ding in my head. I said, "Oh my goodness." And being that my life was not so grand, being that I was not liked, being that I had no boyfriend, and not to say that I wanted one, but let me use this word. I'm going to take out the boyfriend, so scratch that. Being that I was not popular in school, out of school, I had no friends, nobody wanted to hang out with me. I always was the last choice of everything. I never was included, never was a part of the popularity crew. I and I don't even know how to say this, but I want to keep my feelings out of it. I don't want to say, well, I don't think I was this. This is a story time, and I'm telling you about my self-esteem and why it was there, and how it got put there, and how I was treated. I'm gonna try my best not to put, well, me personally, I think that I'm trying not to put my opinions in about myself. This is me. This video is about me telling you about myself, not about what I feel about myself. So I was ugly to people. I had big lips. My hair originally was about this long, maybe cut off about that much off. But my hair was long. I had nice teeth. This is how my teeth was. I just had a teeth up here. Where the gold tooth is, I had a tooth up there that sat up here, and I had a tooth that sat up here. But I had big teeth. The dentist was very good, right? I had big teeth. I had all my teeth. Let me see what else. I mean, I had a funny shaped head, as you could see. I never had that perfect look. I never was perfect. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have that, "Oh, you is just so beautiful." I never had that. I never will. You see what I'm saying? Because God didn't make me that way. All right, so now, I always considered myself, this is what was instilled in me. I heard it so much that I started believing it. You're ugly, right? I never was a big person. I always considered myself big boned, but I don't think I was. But I just consider myself ugly, right? So when people would look at me funny, that was my self-esteem. I would not want to be bothered with them, meaning that I kept myself to myself. I didn't affiliate with crowds. I didn't like crowds. I didn't like attention. I didn't want nobody to be looking at me. I never had confidence in myself that I was a good-looking person. So I didn't participate in things that caused me to be looked upon. Right? I want to be back there. Like a teacher asks a question, I'll answer it, and it'll be like, "Who answered that? It's the right answer. Who is it?" And I want to say nothing. And I will always be called out. But I was called out because people wanted to expose me and make me feel bad. But what would happen is that even though they was humiliating me, it would turn out for the good. So they would want to be smart. Oh, that smart person back here. That was Sharon. But the teacher don't say it's the right answer. That was Sharon. It's probably wrong because she's stupid. She don't know nothing. Look at her. She ugly. And the teacher be like, no. That was the right answer. And boy, pie up in their face. Now you know what happens. My hair gets pulled on the line. I get pushed and all of this stuff. I got beat up in school. I had a mouth on me. And I always was the type of person that took up for people. So this particular time, this girl was bothering this girl was bothering another girl, and I stepped into it, and I protected the girl. I'm short. I'm 5'1", and maybe I was weighing 130 pounds. This is elementary school. This is not even high school. So we didn't even get to high school yet. So I stepped in and told the girl, leave her alone. Why you bothering her? And I'm popping off to her. So what? Leave her alone. You want to be picking on her because you bigger than her. Why don't you pick on somebody your own side? So she was like, so you my side? No. I wasn't dumb. I answered quick. No, I'm not your side. That's my point. Pick on somebody that's your side. Let me tell you something. That girl went and got it. Excuse me. She went and got somebody else. And we was doing, I'll never forget that. Y'all remember assembly? I don't know, every school, I don't know whether every state does assembly. And if they do, I don't know whether they do it like New York do it. But assembly was, this is another part of my self-esteem. So assembly was where you wear your blue and white, and you come in the audience by your class, and each class, the teacher picks, well, I ain't going to say each class, let's say every week, because it's once a week, I think. Every week, each class in the school will pick somebody out of the teacher will pick somebody out of their class to hold a flag. So when you hold a flag, then you got two people behind you that walks down the auditorium aisle and goes up on the stage. Do you know how much I wanted to be picked for that? Because there was nothing that I felt I couldn't do when I was growing up. Nothing. I felt that I could do every and anything. If somebody else could do it, I could do it too. And I always was the type of person that whatever I did, I put my best in it. I tried to make whatever it was. If it was just folding this paper, folding this napkin, I was going to create something that when I finished folding it, you're going to be like, how the crazy you did that? I was just very creative, right? Not all about attention. It was just the fact that maybe people would say, oh, you just want to get attention. Maybe so. But it wasn't all about attention. It was just the fact that just once I got the paper, I was going to make something of it. Not just leave it like that. So I never got a chance to go. Never. If I'm correct and my memory is not failing me, the teacher would never pick. It would be voluntarily, and I would be always, can I go? No, not this time, Sharon, not this time. That's why I hated my name. When the guy told me Sharon, yes, I'm jumping on that. I don't want Sharon. Sharon was always in something that she had nothing to do with. People was always putting Sharon in something. Sharon always did this. Sharon always stole this. Sharon was always getting slapped up for something that Sharon did not do. Somebody else did it. They put it on Sharon. So I hated my name. I didn't care that somebody wanted to say, oh, it means this. It means the roles of this. It means that you're a good person. It means that I don't care. Because my memory of my name is traumatizing me. I don't want it. Take it. that's why I go by today, to this day, Sharon. I'm slowly coming out of it. People ask me my name now, I say Sharon. That's the spiritual side of me because I gotta tell the truth. But it can still be Sharon because it's like I said, that Jamaican guy said my name like that. Everybody pronounces things differently, so it can still go by Sharon. Sorry, I take my pill. I take my blood pressure, my vitamin. I got vitamin D and calcium, and I got a multivitamin. I'm supposed to drink a glass, so I found out that a glass in, I thought it was 16. Let me see how many ounces this is. I thought it was 16 ounces, but it's 8 ounces. So 8 ounces is about half of this. So that's about how much water I need to drink. So half of it would be from the top to there. So I'm almost down there. Can you see? Let me see where I need to go. I need to go about right there, right? Can you see? It's here. I'm trying to shake it. Let me hold it up. I'm down here, so I went further. I drank from here. See how much? So that's glass. I have to look that up because this pill, my vitamin D and calcium, tells me I got to drink a glass of water. So now, okay, so back to the school thing. So I never really got to do that. So I was on my way out of the class. Thank God that he's helping me to stay focused because I don't want to bore y'all and I don't want to be like, oh my God, that's not what she was talking about. Okay, so it's helping me stay focused. So this day of assembly, I came out of the the classroom with my class, and for some crazy reason, I was in the back of the line. For me to be so short, because they assign you by your height. So for me to be taller, I guess I was taller. So that means I was I was in elementary school. So I wasn't even 15. I couldn't have been 15. Excuse me, because I don't even know what the bump that. I'm not going to go over there. So I know I see somebody in their car looking this way. I was like, can they see in my room? But I don't think so. So now let me hurry up because I want to go get me another cup of coffee. So I was in the back of the line, and when our class came out and the teacher closed the door, went to the front of the class, and so now we're walking down the hallway, getting ready to go inside the stairways, right? This girl, now I saw the girl that I mouthed with yesterday, and the day before rather, but I didn't think nothing of it. But my instincts was telling me something's about to go in. So as soon as that door was open and the teacher was out of sight, the girl grabbed me by my hair, pulled me back, and I slipped and fell. And she started kicking me. And I'm screaming and I'm yelling, and because everybody is in the auditorium, so there's no classes that can see, and I'm just screaming. And I'm gonna tell you something. This is what made me so mean. People say I was mean. By the time I got in high school, I was mean. When I got in a fight, I fought to hurt. I put a girl in the hospital. I wasn't playing, you know, because when I fought to win because I refused to get beat up. I refused. I would have flashbacks. I didn't have too much fights, but when I did have a fight, I would have flashbacks from that fight, and I would go in on the person. I guess you'll say, "Dang, you really feeling it right now?" Yes, yes. So anyway, so now she kicked me all in my side, all of that. She had on combat boots, right? And she was very boyish. And just like I said, I was little something. I never really had a lot of weight. And I went back to the class. No, I didn't went back to the class. The class is still going down the steps, right? So I don't know. Let's say we was on the 4th floor. We had to go all the way to the first floor, something like that. And she kicked me down the steps. And when she kicked me down the steps, I fell right in the teacher's arm. You see what I'm saying? Bam! You know what the teacher did? The teacher pushed me to the side and said, "Come on, class." And they went all around her. That's when I realized that I was on my own. I said, I got to find some kind of way to get out. And no, to answer y'all questions, because I know what your question is. Y'all didn't fight? Nope, I did not fight the girl back. I did not fight the girl back. And that is probably the reason why that my fighting was so dangerous. Because when I got in high school and I would get in fights, I would hurt people. It's like I said, I sent somebody to the hospital. I just would just slam your head up against the wall. Right? But I didn't fight this girl back. So once I saw the teacher push me to the side, didn't say nothing to the girl, whatever the case may be, I came to the conclusion that this is my fight. I got to do something. So I got off at the 2nd floor because I just was not thinking. The 2nd floor is the principal's office. So I was thinking that if I get off, I could go to the principal's office. When I got off, that was the wrong move. When I got off at that floor, that gave her the whole opportunity to beat me up. She kicked me in my back. I went flying. Hello. And then they hang up. No, I don't appreciate that. All right, so I know. So she kicked me in my back. I went running. She came running behind me, grabbed me by my hair, because just like I said, I had hair. She grabbed me by my hair. When she grabbed me, she jerked my head. My head went back. I fell down. She stomped me all in my face. Oh my! You know, it was only God that didn't allow me to like really have some serious damages to myself. I think my eye was swollen. Yeah, I think my eye got swollen because she was kicking me all in my face. Oh, she just went in on me. And you know what? It was all because I mouthed off her friend. And the girl was scared of me and wouldn't fight me. So she went and got a bigger girl in me. And mind you, I ain't that big. She went and got a bigger girl in me and got that girl. She to beat me up. It wasn't no fight because I didn't fight back. So finally, I was able. I'm bleeding. My nose bleeding. All that stuff. Wow, that's something. When I'm thinking about it now, I said, "Oh my God." It's just like emotional to me that you go through things in your life and it leaves scars on you. And I don't know what happened, but somehow I got how it happened. I think on that 2nd floor, I guess the screaming and yelling, and maybe my teacher told somebody that what was going on because they came up to the 2nd floor. When they came to the 2nd floor, the teacher or whoever it was yelled out, "Hey, leave her alone!" And they called the girl. I think the girl name was Tracy. I don't want to say that. And the reason why I'm going like that is because that's my husband's name. But anyway, I don't know. But since that's in my head, he said, "Leave her alone, Tracy. Get out of it. What are you doing here? Go down to the office right now." Whoever it was not afraid of her, but she was afraid of him. And it was a white lady. Go to the office right now. Well, I'm leaving. You're not leaving anyway. She got on her walkie-talkie. She said what she said. And I guess some men came. They probably was Jim. I don't know, because all I did was went to class and went home. So I don't even think we had Jim back then. But we did. Yeah, you did have Jim. Jim was of a quiet class. But anyway, so we went down to the office, and my eye was big and everything. Oh my God. I just, I don't know whether you ever had a swollen eye, but it feel like everything is just like it's like this, and you trying to see. And all I could do was cry. I was so mad. I could never get the girl back because the girl did not go to my school. I'm trying to think if I got the girl that called her. No, I don't even think I got the girl back. I don't know. I know there was something happened to me, and I came back afterwards, and I beat the girl up. Me and my friends came together and beat the girl up. But I don't know. Maybe it was that one. Or maybe that's just a story I told that never really happened. You know how you fan from stories and you tell people because you're telling it and you got beat up. So you come back with your hero victory story. So right now, I can't remember. I think the girl got suspended. Not the one that beat me up. Because they was telling her, "What are you doing here? You do not go to the school." And they had me in the office and stuff, and they were saying to me, "Oh my God, we're so sorry. We don't have no problems with you. You was a good student. You a church girl, all that stuff. I never was a problem. Never a problem child going to school." Okay, so that story being told, the girl that caused the racket got suspended, was taken out of my class. Either she was taken up, no, she was taken up my class. They didn't move me. They moved her. And I think the girl that did it, I think they pressed charges on her or something. They pressed, because they was asking me, and I didn't know what that was. They said, "Well, the school is pressing charges against you, Miss Tracy." And she was like, "Stop. And no. She became a little mouse in that office with them people, with the principal and stuff. And the principal was saying, "I done told you that if you come back here causing any problems in our school, we was going to press charges on you. So now you going to jail." That's what I think happened to the girl. Don't mess with God, people. So even though and they even told me, said, "It's a good thing you didn't fight back and you got all the evidence of the hurt, because if you had fought back, then we wouldn't have been able to fight. We wouldn't have been able to press charges because you involved yourself in the fight." I said, "No, I ain't fighting nobody." So all of that, I'm saying all that because that's what I went through as a child. People picked on me. I had a girl. Now I'm in high school. There was two Spanish girls. No offense to Spanish people, but there was two Spanish girls, Maribel and something like Amasol, but it wasn't Marisol. It was Maribel and Marisol. They was M's, and they was best friend. They was pretty. One of them was Marisol, had brunette hair, and what I said, Marisol and Amasol. Well, whatever that name is, she was blonde. She had blonde hair and green eyes. Now, why these people did not like me? Why? These were some beautiful girls. She had that blonde, nice curly hair, not curl, but real straight. Her hair was straight. I don't know how to explain it. You see how these curls is? She had curls like this, they just was in. Like, I don't even think she had to take our time and do like I do to get this girl. And she had green eyes. The Marisol girl with the brunette, she had brunette hair, and I think she had like brown eyes. So you know, brown eyes show more on a light-skinned person. They had the nice. They were short. The blonde-headed girl looked like a model. I mean, all these people. This girl was pretty, and I would be sitting at home saying to myself, "Why these people don't like me? What? What the crazy?" And this particular day, mommy did my hair. Mommy always had me looking nice. Yes, I did. I didn't too much go to school with my church clothes on because I had clothes for church and I had clothes for school. So if I'm correct, this particular time, mommy had me allow me to go to school looking like I was going to church. And they used to always pick on me because just like I said, I had hair. And they was taller than me, and I always would be towards the front because everybody's taller than me. So every day they would push my hair, they would pull my hair, and I mean they would pull it so hard that my hair would always go back like that, and I would turn around, and everybody behind me be like, because everybody was scared of them. Everybody behind me, okay, this is when it stopped with them. I'm gonna go straight to. I'm gonna forward wind. Let me tell you what they did to me, and then I'm gonna forward wind to what I did back to them. Okay, and this is like maybe after 2 or 3 years in of being in their classroom, right? So back then, you would go to another grade, but you would go to another grade with the same teacher. So if you went from second grade, you would go to third grade, but that teacher is teaching second grade through fourth grade. So you will always get that teacher. And then when you get to the fifth grade, you will get another teacher that will take you all the way to the eighth grade, and then you go into high school. That's how it was back then. Right? As I see it, ain't like that now. Every class, every grade, you get a different teacher. So now, except for gym teachers and stuff like that. Okay, so anyway. Okay, I need some more coffee. So now, this particular day, I'm dressed nice. My grandma had my hair nice, everything. Right? And another thing with the classes, you didn't go from class to class. Your subjects was all in one class. You'll leave out for gym, and you may leave out for science, because you know science got all its chemicals, so it can't be. But math, English, social studies, all of that, the teachers come into that class. So, I'm in the classroom. I don't know, I think I came back from the bathroom or something, and I sat down in my chair. These girls came over, they said, "Oh, your hair is so nice." And I was like, "Thank you." My stupid self. "Thank you." You think so? I said, "Yeah, my." Said, "You look so nice today. Today's your birthday." Maybe it was my birthday. Maybe it was picture day. It was something. It was some particular day. But my grandmother do not allow me to get dressed up. I'm thinking it was just a day that my grandmother allowed me to get dressed up. But maybe it was some big day. Don't you know? Afterwards, now everybody in the class see what these girls is doing. They seen what they did before I was at the bathroom. I don't know where the teacher was. So I sit down in the chair. They come over, talk to my hair, whatever. Then they leave. This abruptly they leave, right? So the teacher's talking, and I don't know, for some reason I put my hand up in my hair, in my head. I don't know if it's a scratch or whatever. And when I went to rub my hair, there was a big blob of gum in my hair. I was like, and I went to pull it, and it just pulled. It wasn't hard. It just pulled. I said, oh my goodness. When I went to get up, my dress stuck to the just thinking about it just kind of does something to me, right? My dress stuck to the chair. And I turn around, my skirt is all messed up, and I got gum all. So they dismissed me. They allowed me to leave. I was crying. Yeah, I was just a crybaby. I was crying. They called my grandmother. They said just want to let you know that is it okay if we send Sharon home because she got in a little accident with her classmates and they did her bad. So my grandma was like, I couldn't hear her, but I'm presuming she said, well, what they did. And it was like, well, they put gum all in her hair and stuff like that. And when I got home, I feel like kind of emotional now, so I'm trying not to let it out. When I got home, I went and knocked on the window. My grandmother handed me the key. I'm near tears. I'm trying not to cry. And whew, think about some things, right? You think about some things. So I went on in the house. Grandma met me at the door, and I just bust out crying. I'm crying, 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 crying. I'm like, Mom, why do they always bother me? Every day they picking on me. She said, well, did you tell your teacher? I said, no, Mom, because they ain't going to do nothing because I'm thinking about the earlier fight. Because when I came home with the big lump in my face, teachers didn't do nothing. I remember that teacher, and I saw that teacher's face. She was scared. When I fell in her arms and I looked up and I was like, help. She was looking at me like, I can't do nothing for you, girl. Just get off of me. So, Mommy was like, well, you need to tell them. Maybe they could get rid of the girl. And I was always looking out for the next person. I was like, no, Mom, it's okay. And I'm just boo-hoo. And she pulling the strings apart like that. And gum. Once it gets on your fingers, it sticks. And I'm like, oh my goodness. And she told me, she said the word that I was dreading to hear. She was like, we're going to have to cut this out, Sharon. She said, but don't worry, I'll wrap your hair and you could wear that to school so nobody won't see the cuts or nothing. The shortness. I was so embarrassed. I didn't want to go back to the school or nothing. She was like, well, you got to go back to school, Sharon. She said, I'm going to be here praying for them girls. And I'm saying to myself, pray. I want to knock them out, right? So, one day, my grandmother had to cut it out. The skirt was ruined, and I was very upset with that, and I held on to that. I didn't premeditate no murder. I didn't premeditate what I was going to do to them or nothing. That's not my style. You know how some people, you do something to them and they sit back and figure out what they're going to do? That's called premeditated murder. And that's why you get more time for that than you get if you spontaneous kill somebody. Manslaughter like that, right? So I wasn't premeditating nothing. I'm not going to say I forgot about it, but I just left it alone. You see what I'm saying? I always say, when things come back to you, it come back worse than you gave it out. So I went on. So this particular day, maybe some months later, years later. Well, it wasn't years later, months later. they in the classroom. Now, I don't know, maybe it was a year later, because, I'm getting a little spunk now. I'm getting me some friends. You know, I'm like becoming that hardcore girl. You know, that girl that beat me up? I'm not becoming her, but I'm taking on that fatigue, like I ain't taking no more mess from nobody, that type of thing. Like, so we went on this particular day. I went to school, and these girls were sitting in my classroom, and they came over to me, and they was chatting with me, and all right, yeah, whatever, whatever. I don't know, for some reason they was really trying to be friendly to me, and all right, yeah. They said, "Wow, you used to be an ugly duckling." He said, "But look at you. You growing up to be nice looking, right?" I'm saying to myself, y'all better get away from me, because I don't go that way. But I said to myself, "Oh, all right, yeah." I was like, "Yeah, yeah, like that." And they was like, "No, you looking nice, Sharon. Oh my goodness, you always was a skimpy little thing, dressing like you got on your mama clothes and all this other stuff, and blah, blah, but you looking nice. Your hair look." I said, "Don't touch my hair." No, no, no. They said, "No, for real." I said, "Don't touch my hair." They say, "Wow, look at you." So they go away. Teacher say, "All right, class is starting." Blah 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 blah. And then the teacher be like, she do whatever she doing. Then say, "Okay, I'll be back." Here they come again. They went to touch my hair. I went in on them. I said, "Get away from me." I backed up. I don't know if I picked up a pencil or a book or something, and I had the book. I said, "Get away from me. If you touch me again, I'm going to knock you out with this book." The teacher came running in. Sharon, what's the matter?" I said, "I'm sick and tired of them. You either get me out of this class or you get them out of this class." I said, "Because they always bothering me. They always picking on me. They put gum in my hand. My grandmother goes out there and buys." Oh, I just went in. The whole class was like, nobody wanted to say. They saw a side of quiet Sharon that they never saw before. You know who really liked it? The teacher. The teacher came over to me and said, "All right, Sharon." They said Maribel and Marisol. That was their name. Maribel and Marisol. That's why I said it's like kind of like it was kind of like Amasol, but it's Maribel. Did I say that before? But it was Maribel. Maribel was, I don't know who that is. Oh, Marisol was the brunette, and Maribel was the blonde hair. And the teacher was like, "All right, y'all, all right, y'all gotta move. Y'all gotta go. Y'all gotta go to the principal." "Why we gotta go to the principal?" "Go to the principal. I'm not, but she should go too. She's the one who's threatened." And I was like, "Y'all better go, because if y'all don't go, I'm gonna send you there." And I was scared, and you know how it is. When you get scared, you get what you call that, a germ, something that boosts you up and pumps you up. So I just had that running through my system, and I was ready. I was ready for that. I was ready, and that opened up new doors for me. I was more interactive in the classroom. The teachers would have me, if they had to step out, they would have me take over the class. They would have me teach some of the lessons. I was more active. They asked questions. Child, please. I gained a lot of friends. I mean, friends. People in the class would come into me saying, "I'm so glad you stood up for yourself." They was like, "We wanted to say something, but we were scared. And, we was hoping that you would say something, but you never would. And we always did like you because you always," I mean, people was like telling me they feelings. So that's elementary school and high school. I mean, there's more stuff in high school. High school, I was totally different. But my self-esteem stemmed from family members, from molestation, from I didn't have boyfriends or nothing like that. That never was my interest. That's why my husband, that I got today is the first man that I really interacted with. So, I mean, in a manner, I'll explain that in another video. That'll be another story time, and that will be entitled "How I Met My Husband." So, my self-esteem was very bad. So now I interacted with God. I came in, I got saved, but I didn't stay saved. I went back out there in the world. And, a lot of things went down. I was very timid in my relationships, But because of that beat up from that girl, I didn't take no shorts from no man. To the point where men would tell me, I had a couple of men that would tell me, you don't trust nobody. You gotta let down your guard. How somebody gonna love you if you don't let them? I said, well, then they'll never love me because I ain't letting you. Especially, no, I said, then they will never love me because I ain't letting them. Especially, yeah. And, I didn't care how it affected them. I didn't care how it made them feel. The fact of the matter was that I was still hurting inside. I didn't like that fact that I got beat up for no reason because I stood up for right. And I should have learned from them that from then that when you stand up for right, people gonna want to fight you. People gonna want to beat you up. People ain't gonna want to be your friends. People gonna talk about you, scandalize your name, all that stuff, plot things against you because you standing up for right. But that's one thing I always did. I kept standing up for right. I never would tell lies. I would never take sides, even going to school. I wouldn't do it. And my grandmother never came up to the school to fight my battles. Never came up to the school if I was in the wrong. She never came up to the school to take up for my wrong. She never even had to come up to the school to chastise me because I just was that type of person in school. I loved the school. I have respect for people. When people disrespect me, I lost respect for them, and I ain't care. They never got it back. Never got it back. It's different now because they disrespect me, and I just overlook it, and I keep respecting them. But back then, you disrespect me, that was it. I tell you off, beat your tail, send you to the hospital, and go on about my business. You come out the hospital, I'll be your friend if you want to be friends with me. If not, you remember for the rest of your life. Don't be messing with Sharon. Okay, so now with that, I think that's enough of my self-esteem. So I'll come to where I am now. So I went into this group yesterday, and there was a gentleman in there that was talking about us and how we look, and talking about our hair. And I felt some kind of way, but I didn't say nothing. So we got the call against Dave of the same group. And when I got into the group, he started saying his sarcastic remarks. And I just, before I know it, I said, man, please, just leave me alone. And I walked away from the camera. And they was running their mouth and they was talking and all that stuff. And, I just stayed away. You see what I'm saying? And it did something to me. It let me know that I still care about what people think of me and how I look to them. And I haven't gotten out of that yet. You know what I'm saying? But I do stand up for myself. So I'm thinking to just not go into the group anymore. What do y'all think? I know I ain't got no subscribers. I know ain't nobody gonna answer me. But if it just so happens anybody feel like they want to answer, they feel like they want to subscribe to this channel, please do so. Okay, hopefully you like my video. And if you like this video, just comment below for me to make more videos like this. And I will, because I got a life. I am 58 years old. So you can guarantee you that I got a lot of stories that I could tell. So if you like this video and you would like to hear some more about my life on the other side of the tracks, I will gladly tell you. So, y'all do have a nice day. Jesus loves you, and so do I. Bye bye.